The Rad Rob Radio Network.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Fuck these bitch ass Mars. 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 They ain't got no life. They ain't got no life. They ain't got no life.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Dork side of the ring. This is a very special return episode. It's been almost 3 years since this gentleman and I, Mr. Hughezy, have done a Dork side show, but we're here to bring it back to you. Forgot to bring him in here. Hughezy, what's going on, brother? I can't believe we're actually bringing this piece of shit show back for a one-off.
Yeah, well, I think the best thing about this is that we make fun of marks, but we all kind of marked out for WrestleMania time because you can't be our age and not be a mark around this time of year. And the problem with it is that the guy Tony Kahn is living the mark dream, but he may have pulled the worst stunt, the worst example of triggered markdom ever in the history. Like this is the low point. Like how can you be worth what $11 billion yet be a pathetic loser? Like how can this be? We shouldn't have more intelligence than Tony Khan, and we don't. But this is fucking insane. He is the laughing stock. He will claim rape before the end of the year.
I'm sure he will. I mean, he already claimed that he feared for his life during the altercation at All Out last year, or All In last year, when clearly when we watched the video, he wasn't anywhere to be seen.
Yeah, that's one of the things that because of course I got to do the obvious plug. Keeping 100. The time of recording this, just uploaded a video to Keeping 100 official on YouTube. Already almost at 3,000 views in less than an hour. It's 51 minutes. It's been up and it's got almost 3,000 views. It's doing excellent. Someone's saying he could CM Punk sue.
He could. And I don't know if there's a particular law in the US, but I've heard that there's laws in the UK that if you use CCTV footage without permission, because it's obviously the arena's footage, not AEW's, that it could be a liability. And I think AEW is trying to take as many tweets and as many, as much footage of or retweets of the footage that they could take down. But I believe it's still on their YouTube channel. Like they literally put the whole Bucks segment up on their YouTube channel as well for free.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like he said multiple times in the press release on camera, and then that leaked speaks to the video where he says he feared for his life. So now it's been proven that he didn't. Well, maybe he did, and he just is that mentally weak. But
I mean, that's probably
Punk did nothing to fucking make him think I'm definitely going to die.
It's ridiculous. I'm going to show it here. Let me pull it up here so we can watch it. It's I just can't believe they put it on their own television show.
This may get hit with a copyright strike if you play it though.
It's a short, so I don't, and it's already on YouTube, so I don't know if I will or not, but we'll see. Give me 1 second to pull it up here. What the fuck did I do with it? And now I can't find it. That's amazing. 1 second. You could tell I'm a technical fucking wizard. I haven't done this shit in a while.
Just past 3,083 views at 57 minutes. Thank you, everybody.
You've done a fantastic job with that channel, so I'm not gonna.
Were you about to say that I'm the sole reason for the success of the show? Thank you very much. Thank you. I cut you off before you said that.
No, that's exactly what I was gonna say. All right, here we go.
Jack came back from his match. I was the next match. I'm sitting there. I got people with me. I'm not going to say who they are, because I got a lot of friends who work there, and I wish them all well, and I don't want them to be.
You know what the thing that's great about this is, because I was never really a fan of Punk.
Oops.
But the whole thing is that he cannot be called a liar because he described it almost exactly as it was. It was almost as if he was watching the footage, giving commentary. It's exactly how he described it. So basically, they've now made him look like a kind of a saint, and that he didn't exaggerate the story. He wasn't like, oh, I did a spinning kung fu back kick and fucking killed him. He had a nuclear bomb in his hand. I saved everyone's lives, and my dick is 10 feet long. He just says, didn't punch him, got him in a stranglehold or whatever the word he used. And this is it. Like, it's really just, and so now they've made him look like an honest person while AEW has continuously lied to the public. Like, it is the worst. I actually hope he does sue and gets a couple of $100 million.
I don't think he'll talk about it on TV, but man, it'll be really good if we tuned into Raw this coming Monday and just saw him at least make some kind of a reference to it or some kind of a offhand joke. Or I mean, I don't expect another pipe bomb thing. He'll probably ignore it because, well, you know what? It's Triple H's direction now, so who knows what the fuck they're gonna do? Triple H would take shots at AEW like during the Hall of Fame and shit like that. So who knows?
If they could create a character called Tony Kahn, and they should basically just, even if it's online stuff, the troll Tony Kahn. Like, do you remember they used to do the huckster or Ted the billionaire stuff?
Yeah.
They should do sketches like that where it's like a little dork who's consistently, he has a faction of people that he's consistently paying for everything. That, like, he's call him Monet Mark. And a bit every shit that, and he's consistently fucking fearing for his life, all this stuff. It's just, I can't believe this is real.
Baba, what's going on, dude? All Punk needs to do is come out in the same gear he's got on the video. That'd
be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. Family Fun Network is going on. J5's here. Matt Wilson.
But the thing is, you know that Drew McIntyre would talk about this because he's the type that does that sort of kayfabe stuff.
True.
So he'll come out with like a taped up shoulder or something.
That would be that I can see him doing that
because they're friends with me, you know. And I walk up to him and I'm just like, Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit like on TV, you know? And he's just like, well, if you got a problem about it, do something about it. And I was just like, man, come on, man. You know, I'll fucking kill you. Like, what are we doing?
Pause there. I hate the fact that Punk still thinks of himself as a tough guy.
True, but like, it's Jack Perry.
Yeah, true, but fucking kill him with what? Like, you're in the tour, whatever. Suppose in this instance, yes. Like this was officially the biggest beating that CM Punk has ever given a man.
What's up, Finch? It's true. I mean, if we've seen everything from UFC, I mean, but hey, like he said in this interview as well, like at least I fucking did it. Like I wanted to go fight in MMA, and I did it. Yeah, I mean, I may have sucked at it, but I had the balls to fucking go out and do it. So,
or did he have the ego to do it?
That's fair. Okay, that's fair enough.
And it just, you know, it's like Chael says, sometimes you just can't let you get close. You know, I thought I was doing a responsible thing. You know, I didn't punch anybody.
I got to give it another plug to whatever company sold that coffee to CM Punk. He did a nearly 2-hour-long interview with Ariel Helwani, and he had the same coffee the whole time that he was sipping from it. So how did they keep coffee warm for 2 hours? I'd take a glass.
I just choked somebody a little bit. Samoa Joe was there, told me to stop, and then I quit. I turned to Tony and I said, this place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
Look at the size of fucking Jack Hero there. Like, if you were named after a type of sandwich, I would insist on trying to be fucking in shape. Like, if you're called Reuben, if you're called fucking Hero, if you're called fucking Cheese Melt, I would stay in shape. Chris Hero looks fucking terrible. And can you imagine him sitting beside Tony Khan taking coffee together? It would be horrific.
I want to be called Cheese Melt. Like that would be my wrestling name. Chris Karen, what's going on, buddy? It's been a while. He sounds like Biden. Come on, man. I agree.
Come on, man.
CM Punk owns Jungle Jack, but I hate when people talk like he's some shooter. I give him props for having the balls too, but you ain't no Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor? There's no Conor McGregor anymore.
Yeah, no, that's true. So Brian Alvarez's take of this from the Wrestling Observer, or according to Jack Perry, he was paraphrasing, I guess, the story that Jack Perry gave him was that I guess Punk had slapped him, got him in a chokehold, which Perry easily got out of. Now, watching that footage, Jack Perry did not get himself out of that. You know who did? Samoa Joe ripped him out of it. Samoa Joe saved his fucking life in that particular instance. So it's just funny how they try to spin, not knowing that we were actually going to see the footage. That was before Alvarez knew that the footage was going to come out.
That whole scenario, when you think about it, it's completely insane. What the fuck was Jungle Boy, a guy called Jungle Boy, doing wrestling at Wembley Stadium? That doesn't make any sense. How the fuck? That's why this whole AEW thing, like, it is actually, we're watching an episode of Dark Side of the Ring in real time. Like, when they make the AEW documentary, we'll be like, yeah, I remember that happened. So I remember when that happened, though, but they're kind of fudging this story here. I wonder why Kylie Ray isn't in this episode, all that sort of shit.
I got a couple of clips of I got a clip from the first media scrum that Punk was part of in AEW, and you can see how fucking cringe Tony Kahn is. And then I have a clip of the very last one he did, which was fucking brilliant.
Hey, everybody. Hey, thank you for joining us. I think the person you want to hear from is sitting right next to me, so I'm going to tee it up for the man.
How fucking awkward he is.
Of the hour and of many hours to come. The star of the first dance, CM Punk, the best in the world.
Look at he's so coked up, dude. Like, look at his fucking eyes, man. Like,
and the thing is, like, obviously we're all marks. Like, if I met Hulk Hogan, I don't know what I'd even be able to say. Like, you've met Hulk Hogan?
I haven't. I met Ric Flair, but not Hulk Hogan yet.
No, but if I met like Hulk Hogan, I'd be like, I love you, Hulk. But at the same time, I'm not the head of a fucking company. I'm supposed to be a stupid mark with a giant cack. But with this, but I really don't understand why Tony Khan insists on being there at these media scrums. Like, he's consistently the worst part of every single one that he does. So surely he should know, okay, yeah, I'll stay off. I'll wait until the end, or I'll do the introductions. Why is he sitting there the whole time? And also, I can't say the name, but if anybody does a skim over my guests that I've had on my podcast, there's a certain person who also is a podcaster who flat out told me that they get paid to attend the AEW media scrums. And that's why the questions are so bad.
Yeah.
And they're all basically told, you know, you've got to, you can't ruffle any feathers, or else you're not getting paid anymore. And that's really what these media scrums are, like, this bizarre fucking ego massage and stuff. It's like, have you ever heard of a guy called Michael Jackson? He was in that pop group. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, I think I heard of him.
There was this demented thing he did where he released footage where they would hire actors to walk around a supermarket so he could go in at night and talk to them like, hey, what are you buying? Like, it's like, this is fucking insane. Like, this is everybody has figured out a way to get this billionaire and just milk them for everything. And I would love to actually go broke. Tony Khan, send us. This is how rich Tony Khan is. He could give us 100 million each today, and he would still be insanely rich.
He's going to fund AEW until somebody pulls the plug. I mean, even if Discovery pulls the plug and he gets on some other network or creates his own fucking network, like, he's going he's gonna run it into the fucking ground until there's nothing left, dude.
Yeah, but that's why nobody wants to ruffle his feathers because, like, what's his? Brock Lesnar. Can't believe I forgot his name. I was reading that his contract runs out in August, right? So he could realistically go to Brock Lesnar and say, "I'll give you $100 million a year for 5 years
for
and
5 minutes of airtime."
Yeah, every 4 months. Like, why would he say no to that? And Tony Khan could afford to do that. We're just seeing this demented fucking lunatic, and yeah, and even if they do get kicked off TV, you just go to YouTube, and it'll probably be more profitable there because you could get more ads. Although, did you hear what Bischoff said about what's happening with AEW's numbers?
No, I haven't seen them lately.
Apparently, they were using click farms.
We actually know somebody that used to use click farms.
Hey there, man. Send a link there, TK there, man. He apparently their YouTube channel using click farms, and it has now fucked up their algorithm. So while AEW are still big, they're not even getting a third of what they were getting like 2-3 years ago.
That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. And it's funny when they showed or they put up the Bucks footage or the footage of the Bucks doing this whole thing on Dynamite this past Wednesday. It had more down votes than up votes. It had more dislikes than likes. It was like 7-1 difference. It was pretty crazy.
You know what it was basically the equivalent of showing photographs of your really hot ex-girlfriend with her new gorgeous, handsome, in shape boyfriend and trying to trash them. It's like, nope, they are doing better without you. And that's what I find is so fascinating. Like, it's like not to get political, but when a certain JB guy has a son that there's literal footage of him involved in CP online, and he's going, "Hey, we need to get out there and help everybody and do the right thing." It's like, we'll put him in jail. No, you have to do the right thing. And it's like, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I forgot what I was talking about.
Here's CM Punk.
I'm trying to run a fucking business. And when somebody who hasn't done a damn thing in this business jeopardizes the first $1 million house that this company has ever drawn off of my back and goes on national television and does that, it's a disgrace to this industry. It's a disgrace to this company. Now, we're far beyond apologies, right? I gave him a fucking chance. It did not get handled, and you saw what I had to do, which was very regrettable, lowering myself to his fucking level.
It wasn't handled. And that's exactly what he said on Ariel's show is, several times. Like, Tony Schiavone comes to me and says, "Hey, fucking Perry's going nuts. You got to handle it." Like, no, you got to fucking handle it. Tony has to handle it. Like, I don't know how many times he said, like, you guys have to handle this or I'm going to do it myself. And we fucking saw what happened when he handled himself.
Did you ever hear about the infamous story about Charlotte Flair's husband and Sammy Guevara or Guevara, whatever his name is?
His name is a fucking bitch. But no, I haven't.
They got into a Twitter battle over something, which turned pretty heated. And basically, one of them said to the other one, "If I see you tomorrow, I'm going to punch you in the face," or something like that. So apparently, Tony Khan flat out told them, "No matter what happens, I'm not going to release either one of you." So it's like, so hang on. So you knew a fight was going to happen, and your punishment was to pay them to stay home. Someone's going to quote Al Snow from Vince Russo's podcast with the great Mike Durban does all that work for them. Somebody's going to die in AEW, and it will be Tony Khan's fault because he refuses to do anything boss like. There's a podcast guy I know called Max Moon. And people have seen over the years how there's people have come and gone because if they don't do what the boss says, then you're out the door, bro. and that's just the whole kid. Like, just do as you're told, do the right thing, and everything will work out, or else you can work somewhere else.
Well, speaking of Sammy, we've seen Sammy try to kill the entire Hardy family. I don't know how many times he tried to kill Matt, throwing a chair in his face and dropping him off a scaffold, and then injuring Jeff in the ring, just fucking landing on his face. Like, Sammy has been around a while. I mean, like, he was in the indies for quite a while. You think he'd be a little bit safer, but none of these fucking indie marks that wrestle in AEW are safe. I mean, AEW Botches has 50 million views, right? And have gotten copyright strikes because they're showing all the botches, but it's a real thing. It's been going on for 5 years now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's because Tony Kahn is friends with Sammy Guevara. Like, have you seen the video footage of them dancing together at Sammy's wedding?
Yeah,
It's like, what are you doing? And he looks like he's off his fucking face as well.
Well, Brad Shepard told me, and fuck Brad. He told me not to say anything, but fuck him. He's a cocksucker. He had credible reports. Take that however you may. That number one, Tony Khan was a drug addict, which we know. And two, guys like Hook and Sammy are his type. He likes the fucking twinks.
The thing is, if I was a billionaire with Tony Khan's money, I'd have CTA on my dick. I wouldn't be thinking, how can we get this Hook versus fucking Goldust storyline to draw better? I'd be thinking, okay, which 5 porn stars are coming with me to that private island this Tuesday so I can get a beach?
Yeah, I know. It's Tony's a remarkable character. He really is. It's funny that there's obviously two sides, right? You're either pro AW or you're not. And the tribalism that we've seen in wrestling social media over the last 5 years is pretty mind blowing. Like, it's pretty fucking toxic. Like, you don't ever see pro WWE fans being pro AW. You don't see them liking both promotions. You're literally either one or the other.
Yeah, because I'm going to be 40 this Christmas.
Holy
Just
shit.
past 4,000 views in an hour. Thank you very much, everybody.
Very good.
I'll be 40 this Christmas. So of course, I was around during the 90s, and there was no like WWE versus ECW versus WCW shit. It was just, isn't this amazing? There's so much stuff to watch. Like, I'm loving all this stuff. But with this stunt, it seems like Tony Khan has lost the mark support, because it's like, this is stupid. It made the company look like dicks, while WWE has really, like, WrestleMania was fucking great.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is. It's like this was not the time to pull this shit.
He has lost some of the pro AEW marks, but he hasn't lost the ones that I have here that I took screenshots of. This comes from Vic at LV5454. What the clip basically showed was that Punk lied. Perry wasn't in his space. Punk was the one who approached him, and he was the aggressor. And it wasn't just a choke. He threw a punch. I know many will ignore that. It's cool, but that was the footage. Punk never said that Perry walked up to. He said, I went up to Jack and says, Jack, why you doing this internet bullshit?
Yeah, and he also didn't punch him. He shoved him in the chest.
Shoved him. Yeah. But these fucking dude, the marks will always see it the way they want. At Monica HLUV. So y'all think at your job it's okay for your coworker to come up to you and put hands on you? Jack didn't even insult that man, yet y'all are going to excuse that man every time.
Why did it say y'all?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't mean they. I mean why do so many wrestling fans say y'all? That's a load of shit.
I mean, obviously you wouldn't expect somebody to come up to your job and shove you, but again, we're not in fucking pro wrestling. We're not in MMA. We're not in boxing. We're not in sports. Like, shit happens in locker rooms. It's always happened in any sport. So obviously it's not going to happen to you in your fucking office job, you dumbass. But to say that Jack didn't even insult him, you didn't hear the fucking audio. So how are you going to say, was this dumbass bitch there when they got into a confrontation? Like, it's the levels that these marks go to defend their fucking shit. is mental illness, bro. Like let's just call it what it is. Like these are the lowest. I've always said typical wrestling fans, especially IWC, are the lowest IQ in the gene pool. They're the bottom of the fucking barrel.
And I'm very suspicious that so far it's 2 for 2 black people, because it's sort of well known that AEW has a predominantly white male fan base.
That's true. That's a good point. Let's see if we can find any white people. At Elise Super Beast. I loved Punk for the longest time, but I don't see how you can see that footage and think that he was in the right. Dude attacked a coworker because Jack said one thing he didn't like. That's what whiny 14-year-olds do. That's not something a man in his 40s should do.
Well, they're not wrong in that, getting into fights, like physical stuff is not like an impressive thing to do ever. But at the same time, it just it just seemed like he was so frustrated and wanted to, like he's flat out said that he wanted out.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't want to be in AEW, so then he's gonna put up with this shit. And it's really just like but definitely they're not wrong in that he shouldn't have got physical. But as you said, we don't know the full story. Like maybe Punk said something like AJ Lee was the worst Divas champion ever. And if someone said that about me, about my wife, I'd fucking kill you.
So he responded to somebody's comment, says, I really hope that's not how you choose to handle disagreements. Being ready for a fight at the drop of a hat is really unhealthy. And if that's you, I honestly think that you should consider a therapist. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm being as sincere as possible when I say that. So the guy that's telling somebody that they need to go see a therapist is arguing with another fucking mark online about fake wrestling.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. And this is the worst. This is the one that we were talking about.
This fucking cunt.
This crazy chick, Amy Nemedy. Fragile mind, fragile body, fragile ego. CM Punk really did walk up to dress down Jack Perry and then unprovoked punched him in the face and then went after who I presume was TK in the gorilla position. Clear, uncut, and matter of fact.
She is a stupid bitch. I seen that tweet a couple of days ago. I was reading her whole page. She's a fucking psycho.
She is. She literally tweets just about every 15 minutes. Like I tried to find this in her timeline, and I had to scroll for fucking 3 hours to go back and find this from 3 days ago.
Yeah, he didn't punch anyone. It was a shove in the shoulder or chest. It was not a punch in the face. If you're going to get offended by something, you know what this is like? This is like a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, where The Rock said that he regretted endorsing Biden and that he would not go public with who he's voting for this year.
Trump.
Which to people like her, it's basically sounds like saying, I'm going to kill children if Trump doesn't get into the office again. It's like, That's not what he said, though. He probably would vote for Biden. He just didn't say he's going to announce it. But you're a dumb bitch, you cunt.
Well, I will agree with you from your previous statement that, resolving to fisticuffs or fighting may not be the smart decision, but it kind of reminds me of the funniest fight we ever saw between wrestling marks was Billy Body and the fucking idiot from Fightful. What the fuck's his name? Sean Ross. Sab. Yeah. You saw the video of that?
Yeah, I loved it. And Billy did back down.
He did. Yeah, he backed down like a bitch.
Yeah, and you know the other thing I've got to say about that shithead Billy, if he ever did have any supporters left, if anyone remembers, Billy claimed that he was being sued by CM Punk for a T-shirt or some type of tweet.
Yeah.
And then at the WrestleMania weekend, Billy was hanging around the hotel lobby trying to meet wrestlers, a grown man in his 40s. So Billy has hair like a girl and is also a liar. And that's why he got kicked off Keeping It 100, because he kept making shit up and it was consistently proven wrong.
I wonder how that conversation went between Conan and Billy. Can you Can you hypothesize what they said?
Conan, I'm the best at what I do. Here's a story that Rey Mysterio is dead. I think, no, he's not dead, bro. Yes, he is. I fucking said he's dead, and that's the way it is. You're fired, you cunt. I think that's what it went.
Brilliant. More from this dumb bitch, Amy Nemedy. Thank you at Young Bucks. We knew all along, but we're so glad that you guys went out and rolled the footage. Sucks you had to. Sucks is probably something she does. But we're glad you did. Truth wrapped up in a promo, and it's about damn time. Somebody had responded, "You AEW stands are so weird," and I responded, "Are you a parody account?"
See, about 6 years ago, there's an Irish wrestling company called OTT, and they were doing a big show at the National Stadium, and they had the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes and Marty Scurll and others on the card. So a bunch of us went down to Dublin for the day, and I go out into the lobby to go take a piss out of my dick in the bathroom. Know what I'm fucking saying? And there was literally, I'd say, at least 1,000 people in the lobby buying T-shirts and all crowding around this table. And I'm thinking, like, what the fuck's going on? Why is there so many people for these shirts? And I seen these two sort of ugly lesbian-y looking girls selling the Young Bucks T-shirts. So go in and I whip my fucking dick out and taking a fucking piss. And when I eventually put, Godzilla's tail back in its fucking cage, I come out to have another look at the lesbian girls selling the shirts, and it actually was the Young Bucks. And I'm like, that's the fucking Young Bucks that all you cunts are so fucking excited about?
Dude, you're bigger than Young Bucks.
I am. I couldn't believe it.
I mean,
I was like, that's the fucking the fucking whatever the fuck the Young Bucks. And Cody Rhodes. Well, he was. No, I'd take him too.
Yeah, you're like what, 6'5"?
6'2", but I weigh 240.
In your pants, right?
Right in that cock.
So somebody responded to this dumbass. There is no audio. She said, it literally doesn't matter. He escalated to physical violence, full stop. We learned how to regulate in elementary school. Those are the rules. There's nothing professional about assaulting your coworkers.
Okay, that's right. There's nothing professional about it, but it's also not professional as a boss to know that you have coworkers that have this shit going on and you're not doing anything to quell the drama.
Well, yeah, it was going on for weeks, right? Like,
yeah, you don't have them in the same place, or you fire them, or you force them to somehow work together. If you're not going to do that, it's kind of your fault if it all blows up. That's why my problem with these fucking teachers at schools these days, they're so afraid of being called racist that they're letting these certain children kick the shit out of each other. And we're seeing it getting worse and worse. With kids are stabbing each other and fucking 5-on-1 kickings, and there's like 8-year-olds going into fucking comas and stuff.
Yeah,
because a certain group keep getting away with it. It's G word.
It's yeah. Tony, like, the whole thing is ridiculous. Of after the scrum that we saw where Punk just lit everybody up, he's gonna bring him back when he's healthy, give him his own show, and separate him from the rest of the locker from Dynamite. Like, here's the Bucks are gonna be on Dynamite, and Paige is gonna be on Dynamite, and Omega's gonna be on Dynamite, and you're gonna be on your show, Rampage or Collision or whatever it was, like a Collision. Like, could you see Vince McMahon do it? All right, Vince did a lot of things, but I mean, professionally, all right, Vince did a lot of. All right, so still, could you see Vince McMahon doing that? Like, okay, Brock Lesnar doesn't like Undertaker. We're gonna put Undertaker on SmackDown and Brock Lesnar on Raw, and you're not gonna ever mix together. Like, who does that?
Yeah, Vince would have fired CM Punk on the spot at that press conference, and he's not listening. I'll take this time to plug Keep 100 Official on YouTube, which is currently, the video has gone to, let's see, it's exciting, everybody, up to 4,686 views in an hour. So that's good. Thank you, everybody. And that's what I would have done if I was Vince.
Sorry, my kid was talking to me. I had no idea what you just said. It's just stupid the way Tony Khan runs his business. I mean, he's involved. I don't even know what his position is with the Jaguars. Probably tight end. Actually, no, he's the wide receiver. Sorry, that was a horrible joke.
Yeah, there's nothing tight about his end.
No, just tight, yeah. But you know, I can't say. All right, anyway, so this is a tweet that Tony Khan put out about Ring of Honor, about Athena, who is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She's the former what the hell's her name in WWE and NXT?
Oh, Alba Fire or something like that.
Some shit like that, right?
Did you ever hear the time that Booker T gave her like this never-ending compliment sandwich? It was, but it was like, what do you call it when like a sandwich is stacked on another sandwich?
Well, like that's a Wangland thing, right? It's a compliment sandwich. Like he invented that shit.
Yeah, like Booker, you find it online. It's hilarious. Where Booker kept calling her ugly, but then he's like, I mean, she ain't gonna win no beauty awards, but she can wrestle. I mean, that ain't the type of face you'd usually want on a woman, but as a wrestler, she's great. She could get in better shape and lose some weight, but she can cut promos. And you're like, I wouldn't date her, but I would definitely hire her. And it just kept going on and on. It's like we get it. You don't want to fuck her. None of us do.
I didn't know Booker T was Italian. So
bigots.
So this dumb bitch Amy responded to Tony's tweet about bringing Athena in. We've been asking for it. I don't know who we is. And you've delivered. Athena's on AEW TV. Let's fucking go. Hell yes, I'm excited to watch them kill it.
Right. So, but is it all AEW fans that are like this? Like what's
yes,
this?
He owns Ring of Honor, of course. Like,
yeah. What's this Amy woman's fucking life story? Like, does she have a job? Does she have a fucking? Is she in a relationship?
Again, I don't know. Literally, she tweets wrestling shit all day long and reposts and responds. Like, literally, I mean, just follow her timeline. It's at Amy Nemity, Nemity. It's hilarious how cringy marky she is. But who the fuck's been asking for this chick to be on AEW TV? Yeah. And why is she already not on AEW TV when she's a former NXT champion? I mean, you think you'd be featuring her on your main program, but he relegated her to Ring of Honor, which I don't even know if they have a TV contract or if it's YouTube only. I literally don't know.
It's on a streaming app that apparently it's which has lost a fortune, shockingly.
Okay, yeah, shocking. Just like the video game.
I was reading up on this. The final budget of the game itself was 115 million.
Holy shit.
And what makes it even worse is they're now going to continue the DLC. So there's still money being spent on it. So whatever money they are making, like it's never going to be profitable even slightly. But Khan is going to continuously put more and more money into the fucking game. He should just take it as a loss and say, you know what, we're going to hopefully this one didn't work out. We were learning we could try on the second one instead of going, no, we're just going to keep it going again and again. Did you hear that apparently was it called Steam numbers? It got to the lowest of 14 players.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like 100,000 is bad. 14 people played AEW Fight Forever recently. Like, it's horrific.
I mean, I've heard no good reviews on it whatsoever. I mean, even the AEW fans are like, God, this game is hard to play. Like, the gameplay sucks. Like, it's repetitive. The story mode sucks. Like, and it took how many years? Like 2 years with Omega and Horseface putting it together?
Well, yeah, I hate that Jerry Seinfeld bitch. But the thing about that game, and this is what I just find fascinating, is that did you know that their developer quit in the middle of production?
No,
that's like if a director quit during the making of a movie and somebody else comes in, it's a stand for disaster. He said the problem was they were trying to make a game for a retro crowd. So how the fuck do you make a game for an obsolete service that went out of business because not enough people were playing it? Like that's like making a new Star Wars directly for VHS. It's like, how are we going to see it? And then on top of that, they said the game was announced too early, and then the actual released version was put out unfinished because they were like, "This is taking forever."
we just got to put it out there. Like, it's fucking
just put out an unfinished game that needed endless fucking patches and shit. I'm actually glad it was such a disaster.
I never even played it. I just watched the videos on it, and I'm like, well, number one, I don't want to give AEW a dime because I hate them. I mean, I know I talked about tribalism earlier, and it's not because I'm just a heavy WWE mark, which obviously I am growing up in the Northeast, but I try to give AEW a chance. It's fucking garbage. Like, it's bad. I mean, there's botches every week. The storylines don't make sense. The booking is shit. So, I don't support them at all. I mean, I know all the guys. Oh, you want to be feel good for the boys because they have somewhere else to work. Like, no, fuck AW. Like, there's plenty of other places where they can go to work. Shane, they can go to Target like Shane Douglas did.
Yeah, and then look at fucking But my whole thing about that game is that they released it at full price. So even if you were curious, it's like, you want me to spend what $70 to $80 on this on an unfinished game? Like, at least at the WWE game, which it could be better, but at the same time, there's a shitload of stuff to do in it. In that one, Durban got the AEW game, and he said that I think he said that you could do every mode they had within like fucking an hour.
Wow.
Just like, well, fuck it.
Yeah. What's the point? You mentioned like they made it for like a retro audience. You can make a retro game good because we saw that with the remake of WrestleFest, and I can't remember the name it was, but I mean, that's a badass game with all the current roster and all that. So I mean, that was done right.
Hmm.
Do you know what game I'm talking
about? No, not at all.
That's
but I just think that the problem with Tony Kahn is he badly wants to feel like he's important because he's got all this money and all this shit, but he doesn't know. I was watching an interview he did years ago about Fulham FC, his soccer team, as you call it, and just the way he was talking about football or soccer, you could tell he doesn't know what he's talking about, which is fine. Like, I'm not a big knowledgeable fucking guy, but I don't own a fucking team. I just think he tells daddy, and then daddy goes, whatever you want, son, or whatever the fucking way he talks.
You're not knowledgeable about football? Football?
I know it enough to know that I hate England, and I love it when they lose.
That's fair.
That's enough for the hate, man.
Is there still like a serious like rivalry between like Scotland, Ireland, and England? Like, because back in the day, like when I took English in high school, my English teacher was Irish, and he always said that England used to call them their N-words, like they were England's slaves or whatever, like biatches.
Yeah, but that's the thing, because they always talk about reparations and all that shit in America for the for the AEW fans. I think that's what we call them. But the Irish used to be, as you said, the slaves in England, and Scottish people were slaves. So it's kind of like, well, where's our fucking reparations, you pieces of shit?
And now they have more Muslims than I think even like Middle Eastern countries do. Yeah.
Just past 5,000 views.
Congratulations. This last tweet here from the Marks. This happened recently, like I think yesterday. Scapegoat Jack Perry makes multiple CM Punk references at New Japan's Windy City Riot. Following a controversial week, Jack Perry wrestled in Chicago, sporting the classic Chicago flag, performed the signature CM Punk step-up knee in the corner, put his opponent in a chokehold similar to the one that he got put on, and had Cry Me a River on the back of his jacket. The fans in attendance made several chants referencing the CM Punk Jack Perry All In footage. So this idiot is literally going all in, pun intended.
Yeah, but how does this fucking help? Like, unless CM Punk's coming back to work at in Japan show or AEW, What are they building towards? Like that whole thing with when they showed the fight footage. That just means that when they do the follow up to that, all you're going to hear is CM Punk chants, which is great for WWE because they've got him signed in for years. Like it's basically like if you go to see Aquaman, and in the middle of it, he's wearing like an Iron Man t-shirt, and it makes you realize, oh yeah, there's something else out there that's way better than this shit. We should go watch. Fucking.
Yeah. I've never seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen you.
I was trying to think of a recently good Marvel thing. Oh,
there hasn't been. There hasn't
been
any good one. Well, Ant-Man was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Good. The way to sell that one. So this dumbass Perry, dude, like, and if you watch Dynamite, which I only saw the clips on YouTube, the Bucks were trying to spin this All In footage thing into an angle with FTR, saying FTR was the ones that put this footage out and it's their fault, or their fault Punk was there. I don't know what the fuck it was, but like they're trying to spin this into a fucking wrestling angle with friends of Punk.
It's so stupid. It's so dumb because all they're going to do is chant for the guy that isn't actually in the company.
Which they did during the last match when the Bucks came out during the Okada match. They're chanting CM Punk when the Bucks are in the ring. Like it's pretty comical. And I think, I don't know if it was Cornette or somebody else, and I haven't listened to Cornette this week because I need to. I'm sure I need to listen to him, his thoughts on the interview and his thoughts on this shit on Dynamite. But somebody had mentioned that CM Punk showed up in 2 wrestling organizations the same week, and he's the one that's over, and the rest of these fucking marks are crying about it. They're featuring Punk, who's not on the roster. You can't make this shit up, dude. Like it's literally like they call it the finger poke of doom version, right? Like this could be the death of AEW.
I think so. And that thing they did at WrestleMania with Punk, with the thing with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So now it's like, and obviously Punk's injured, but I will watch their like that's the storyline I'm going to be following to see what's coming up next. How do they top that? There is no reason to watch AEW at all.
No, none. I mean, if there's any reason to watch it before, there's even less reasons to watch it now. Like there's 0 reason to watch it now. And we know what we've seen with Triple H. Like I said, he's not afraid to take shots. Like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Drew McIntyre came out and did something about it. Going back to Punk being injured, he took his brace off at WrestleMania and hit McIntyre with it. And when he came back out to celebrate with Cody, he still didn't have his brace on. Now, everywhere we've seen Punk since the injury, he's always had his brace on. Like he could have put it back on if he's that injured. Do you really think he's that injured, or do you think, like, I don't want to say it's work because I initially thought it was. And before you answer, to back that up, whenever somebody used to get injured in WWE and they had surgery, we'd always see footage of the surgery. All we saw from Punk was him sitting in a hospital bed with a gown. They roll him in and they roll him out, and he's got a brace on. Like we didn't see any of the surgery. So to me, in my wrestling, conspiracy theory brain, it's work because he was blown up at Royal Rumble.
Well, one of the rumors I'd heard was that it was actually his back was the problem, because there was footage of his behind the scenes return before he wrestled Dominic Mysterio, and he had one of those big heater fucking belts on.
Mm-hmm.
And as a lot of people noticed, Punk's got a real gut at the minute. And due to my personal experience, when you have a bad back injury, you literally can't tighten your core. So everything sags. You can't tighten your muscles, any of that stuff. So I think that was a way to get Punk off the fact that he needs to lose weight. He needs to get back in shape because he can't run around in trunks when it looks like he has tits in the cunt.
That's a good point. And I didn't know that. I think that's exactly what it is. I do not think he tore his tricep again. Yeah, I think it's a work. But what they did at WrestleMania was fucking brilliant, right? And what they did the next night was great too. I mean, are you excited for It's funny how they made this the Paul Levesque era. Like, when have you ever seen like that? To me, was just a little bit cringe. Like Stephanie coming out and saying it, because she's burying her fucking dad.
Yeah.
I mean, how awkward would that be for her to do? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Speaking of Stephanie, the other dumb thing that happened on that episode of Dynamite was they had Will Ospreay
Oh yeah,
or Ospreay take a say, "Oh, you talk about grinding. You only got where you are from grinding against the boss's daughter."
Yeah.
Now, think about that for a second. How's that an insult to Triple H? It's like say you fucked a really good-looking billionaire girl to become an extremely successful multimillionaire yourself, and now you have a beautiful wife and a shitload of money. Roasted. You know what I mean? Like how is that a put down?
Yeah, I didn't even look at it that way. And that's why you're so brilliant. That's why you are Hughezy, and that's why you are who you are. Like how was that an insult? Like you fucked Paris Hilton, and now you have the Hilton dynasty and all the money behind you. Like, sure, okay.
It's like, hey, Jade Cargill's husband, you're a fucking loser because your wife hasn't held any WWF title belts. Haha! How embarrassing does it feel to be you, the guy who has unprotected sex with Jade Cargill? Loser.
Ospreay's not even that good. He's just a fucking Cirque du Soleil guy. Like it's his match with Ricochet was 17 stars from Meltzer, but I couldn't get into it. They're just fucking dancing around the ring. Like,
I had thought I'd never seen a Will Ospreay match, but he did one of those OTT wrestling shows, which I was at, and I don't remember it because, and you'll be shocked to hear this, I was completely hammered.
Oh, really? No, I've never seen you with a beer in your hand on Twitter ever. Matt Wilson says maybe someone that is an expert on back injuries needs to weigh in. Shout out to the old Reverend there, brother Martin, the cancer faker.
Yeah, he has a wife injury. Did you know she has a OnlyFans?
Don't go there. Are you Reverend?
Yeah, but I mean, like, but she's way hotter than Jade Cargill. Everybody knows that.
Of course.
Like, I mean, who would you rather see naked, Jade Cargill or Chris Martin's wife? Be honest. Be honest.
I'm not a fan of AEW fans, so probably Chris Martin's wife.
Nobody can be that anti AEW fans. I would help Jade Cargill bury one of my kids. I would just say let's do it. Let's get rid of them. Whatever you want, Jade, as long as I can smell your arse.
I don't know where to go with that. I was gonna show some ratings, but like it doesn't fucking matter. Like so that popped a rating is what the sheets are calling it. I think it did what 810,000 viewers on Wednesday night.
I actually have it here, and it is 816 viewers. 16,000 viewers.
Okay, 816,000. So real quick here, just showing what WCW did in 2000. Nitro was averaging between 3.3 million and let's just say 2.6 million for the year. They ended up averaging 2.71. Now, everybody is referencing. In fact, even WCW 2000 was trending after Dynamite Wednesday night. Everybody wants to say that 2000 and 2001 Nitro was literally the worst in their history, which is fine because they came off the NWO shit, right? And Bro was in charge. Bro, I'm not gonna blame him for it, but not even know when the fuck he was there. I don't ever blame Vince Russo for anything. But I mean, even at what fans call their worst version of Nitro, was still doing 2.6 million viewers for the year. Yeah. AEW has never had a single show over 2 million ever.
Yeah, and the fact is really is because even though
on the same network, bro.
I think you go with the excuse, bro, that the way people watch TV has changed, and that is true. But look at the ticket sales on that show last Wednesday, Dynamite. There was less than 3,000 people in an 18,000 seater arena, and that's why if you notice when one of their guys does a promo, It sounds like this because it's echoing so much around the venue. They just think like, how the fuck, like scale the fucking thing down. If he did a smaller show, like an old ECW show, it would look so much better.
It would, and that's like ROH numbers, like before and after, like when ROH was on their own and when he has them now. Like that shouldn't be for AEW Dynamite, your number one show on fucking TNT. Do you know how many wrestling shows which they could have that primetime spot on TNT? Like even WWE would like to have that spot. Like it's remarkable that they were able to even get that in the first place. And if you believe Jericho, it was all his doing. But like they re-upped and re-signed them when they're averaging 600,000 a week. And you look at their YouTube views, it pales in comparison to WWE. WWE is getting millions and millions and millions of views, and even AEW, they're sitting to hundreds of thousands. Like I'm lost. I'm lost, dude. I'm at a loss for words for the first time. Like it boggles my mind that they're still in the spot that they're in and haven't been canceled yet, because it's not good. It's not entertaining to me. And maybe I'm old. Maybe I'm fucking lost. I don't like the spot monkey shit. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of people say the fact that the thing about the TV deal is they're significantly smaller today than what they were back when they started.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way they would get a bigger deal when they have less negotiation power. And plus, Warner's are fucking not going bankrupt, but they lost a lot of money during that actors and writers strike because they weren't paying people bonuses, so they had to start cutting checks for hundreds of millions.
Yeah,
they're not going to be like, okay, first we'll get that Harry Potter and DC Comics film franchise sorted out afterwards, but first let's lock down Rampage.
This is TNA's ratings from 2010 when Hogan and Bischoff showed up that year. 0.84, 0.98, 1.14, 113, 138. A new Thursday night record was 138. They went head to head against Raw on a Monday night, and they still got 1.5 million viewers. Like they were doing better numbers, which were low. Like back in the day, Impact wasn't that bad. TNA or AEW still can't even reach that. Like it's TNA averaged 1.5 million viewers for that year in 2010.
Yeah, I just think that the rod is set in now. They can't shake the fucking. It's like if Aerosmith put out a new album next month that was really good, no one would give a shit. It's like because they haven't done a good one since what, the 90s or the 80s, if you could even call them good. But it's like I just think that this is basically it. Whatever AEW had, they've picked, and it's just going to keep. Yeah, and I think that it's just going to be coasting until Tony Khan gets bored or ODs.
I agree. And during like the Wednesday Night War stuff, I mean, they were doing 900, 800, 900, sometimes 1 million. You're right. That was their peak, and their roster wasn't even as good then as it is now.
No,
like during that time, they had a lot of their homegrown talent. They didn't have Bryan Danielson. They didn't have what the fuck, Adam Page and Miro and Hardy. And all those guys.
I gotta grab a quick piss if you want to respond to the chat.
Yeah, sure, because they're so lively right now. We do have people watching here. Guys, chime in if you want to say something. There's 400 people here strong, so don't I don't fuck this, whatever, just sit there, shut the fuck up then. But no, getting back to my point is when AEW had their highest ratings, their roster wasn't as good as it is now. I don't, and the only time that their ratings pop is when Tony Khan says he has a big announcement, which is so funny. And I mean, even he should realize that at this point. He should just make a fucking major announcement every week, even if it's just, hey, we have a new house show in fucking Des Moines, Iowa. It's sad that there's a lot of good talent in AEW that like Hughezy said earlier, are at a risk of getting horribly injured or killed. But there's also a lot of talent they're not using. I thought Rusev was fantastic, and they've hardly ever used him lately. There's so many guys. There's so many guys, Hughezy, that AEW have from WWE that they don't even use. Like, it's almost like Tony just wanted to buy all these toys. Look at me, I have all these fucking shiny toys, and then doesn't use them. He lets the Bucks and Omega just fucking do whatever they want.
You know what it's really like? It's like if you play general manager mode on the WWE game,
right?
And you make your champion Kane, because that was someone that you liked when you were a kid. You're like, yeah, Kane's the fucking world champion, and we're gonna make Kane, and the tag champions will be Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels. They'll be my tag champions, yeah, and because it's all about what we remember as kids instead of doing what needs to work today,
right?
Like, and that's what it, like. Why Samoa Joe, their top guy in 2024? He was so fucking out of shape in WWE. They put him on commentary.
Yeah,
and then in AEW, he's the top fucking guy. It's just like, it's 2024. You need to get over this whole when I was a kid retro shit, and just face facts. Like, it's a shame to see, but also, again, if Tony Khan wants to give us 100 million, thank you.
That's true. But I mean, I thought Rusev was fantastic in WWE.
Yeah.
And what have they done with it? What have they done with him in AEW?
Yeah. And to be fair, we could split the 100 million between us. We don't really need 100 each. Like 50 million would do us, I think.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, I would do it for, a couple dozen hot dogs.
Yeah, 45 million would be kind of better than a hot dog, in my opinion.
In your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree. So wrapping it up, give me a prognosis for AEW. Like, when I first started watching it, I'm like, this fucking sucks. They're going to be dead in 5 years. We're at the 5-year mark. They're still here, so I was wrong. But I mean, how much longer do you think they could carry this on?
Honestly, I think that AEW is going to be around as long as Tony Khan lives. I don't know if they'll be on TV forever. We've seen Tony Khan flat out lie in the past, where he says, "Oh, Warner's are very interested in having Ring of Honor programming on their network," and then zero deal happened.
Yeah,
I think it's weird that AEW has all this back catalog of matches and events and stuff that they haven't put on YouTube. So the brand of AEW is not important. They've not made themselves that big of a deal to Warner's. I just think that, frankly, it's kind of like, do you ever get when you go to like these, you go online and you see people having these like WWE No Mercy tournaments still, and you think, but that's all well and good. Well, why not something new? Why don't you move on and try something new? And I just think that basically AEW will not change. They haven't in 5 years. And if you didn't like it before, you're never going to like it. And I want some money.
The same people that are watching it now are the same people that have been watching the entire time. Like, they've done almost next to nothing to attract new viewers. And if you really want to go back to it, when we first started this series, Dork Side, we talked about Cody Rhodes, and when he was an EVP, he initially said, "We're catering to our hardcore fans. We're not worried about the casual fans. We're not going to do anything to bring," and that's been their mantra since day one, and it hasn't changed.
And that shit, he keeps.
It's true.
There's one of the I don't know if it was The Rock or Roman Reigns, but before WrestleMania, he referenced the Bullet Club in an interview, and it gets zero reaction because casual fans are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, did you see the clip of Cody on Raw where the fans started chanting, "Thank you, Roman," and super cool Cody Rhodes' reaction is, "Indeed." It's just like you're a fucking corny cunt.
He is. But everybody loves him, and he's the face of WWE now. So, do you think he's going to be the new John Cena? Do you think he's going to have a huge run and do all the charities and appearances and all that?
I'd say he's probably bigger than John Cena, but at the same time, one of the problems he's going to have is that WrestleMania was so massive, and it gets so many casuals watching. But now The Rock's gone. Now Roman's apparently off until May or something like that. It's just going to be such a massive step down that everything they do comparatively will look as if, oh, he's failing, and then all his cunt fans will turn into triggered marks. So maybe we'll have an episode about him in about a month or two. But yeah, I think he could be good, but he's really cheesy. Like there's nothing cool about Cody Rhodes.
He is cheesy, and everybody got behind him because of how long he's worked for it. Had to go do the Stardust thing, which I thought Stardust was great. Left, went on the Indies, made a name for himself. The whole AEW thing to come back, finish the story, blah blah blah. Now what? What do we do now? We know he'll face The Rock eventually, whenever Rock decides to come back. But I mean, how long is that? How long are we going to wait for that? What do they do now to keep us as interested in Cody as before? You can't. They set the bar at the very fucking top. You're never going to fucking get higher than what they've done the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can keep him red or white hot, as they say, as a babyface. I don't see it. I think he's got a turn.
Unless like Cena comes back, but then again, that's kind of getting played out because it's happened so. And then the thing about The Rock is, I did love that match of that they had at WrestleMania, but at the same time, you could see how blown up he was getting, and you could see that this obviously is a aged Rock, and plus he's got what, Moana coming up. He's got two Fast and Furious. He's got he's doing this MMA film at the minute. He's on paper we're like, oh yeah, The Rock's back and he's gonna do this. It's like, why the fuck would he come back? He's getting paid $30 million a year by TKO simply by doing media interviews. I always think, like, is it worth the personal risk just to put Cody Rhodes over?
I don't think so. But I mean, obviously they're going to, but
Yeah. And I cannot wait for the next Fast and Furious. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Fast X was a masterpiece, and I hope you die if you don't like it.
All right. Well, on that note, that wraps it up for this edition of Dork Side of the Ring, the special edition. And if something stupid happens again, maybe we'll come back and cover it. Who knows? Hughezy is a renewed mark now for wrestling. He's been more excited for wrestling than I've ever seen him, which that says a lot. And he does the Max Moon show all the time. So I mean, like, he's around wrestling constantly. You think he'd be bored by now?
Yeah, and just as we're wrapping up, the video is now at 5,412 views in 2 hours. So it's a success.
That's remarkable. Shout out to Hughezy Entertainment on YouTube if you want to. Is that still a thing? Do you still have that?
Yeah, and getting ready to record a very fun episode tomorrow called "Does Quentin Tarantino Suck?" So I've amassed a round table of film fans, and basically, I am a Tarantino fan, but I also would say he's the most overrated director ever.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Is that still part of It's Hughezy Hello? Do you still do that show?
Yeah, It's Hughezy Hello is the name of the podcast. I just sort of mix the format up every once in a while, but especially I would say go subscribe to Keeping It 100 Official on YouTube. We are approaching 59,000 subscribers, and Joe sent me a whole bunch of shit to edit for tomorrow. So there will be AEW reviews, WrestleMania reviews, and whatever else was in there that I forgot to check. Oh, and if Joe hears this, send me the mailbag, you swine.
Also, shout out to Mike Durban, who I gave a lot of shit about when Punk first came back to AEW, because obviously, Durban's from Chicago and he loves Punk. That's his favorite wrestler, and we literally destroyed CM Punk in 2 episodes. God damn, you have a tornado there, pal?
Oh shit! I left it. Hang on. Keep talking.
We destroyed CM Punk on the original run of Dork Side in 2 different episodes. Durban wasn't happy about us tearing up CM Punk, so I do want to say that we were kind of right, though. Like, we said Punk came back for himself, right? And he came back for the money, and he didn't give a shit about the fans. He still doesn't give a shit about the fans. You watch him now on Helwani's show. He says, if you want to think I'm this big, jerk, this big tough guy, this locker room cancer, if you want to believe all that, fine. Just leave me the fuck alone. Like, he doesn't like people. So in that sense, we were kind of right, but we were a little bit critical of Punk and AEW. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but the problem is he came in and there was no storylines. Like, he turns up and he's like, I'm back and I challenge you, Darby Allin.
Right.
But then if you look at WWE, they came back and went into that Rollins storyline immediately. Yep. Well, not immediately, but like within a week, and it's like, that was fucking great. Yeah. So we were right.
We were right. But anyways. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this edition of Dork Side of the Ring. Follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Instagram, at Rad Rob Gaming. Follow at the Hughezy on Twitter. Is that your same thing? Do you have an Instagram?
At the Hughezy on, and specifically follow me on Instagram, because I'm trying to build that up so that I can contact guests easier, even though I've kind of stopped trying to do that. But follow me anyway for hilarious racist comments.
You've gotten some fantastic guests, by the way, on that show. Like, I got to give you credit. Like, you've had some pretty cool comedians on your show.
I know how to abuse connections. Did you know, by the way? So I've become kind of friendly with Shuli Igor.
Yes.
From and this is kind of a spoiler for an upcoming plan. I guess they have, and they're going to let me on that episode. Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. He's my fucking favorite comedian.
I loved him in the 80s and 90s. So yeah, good stuff for Hughezy. I'm proud of you, buddy. And you really hate Stuttering John, don't you?
He's one of the worst. Like, do you know? I've always said that when it comes to liberals, that the bigger the preacher, the darker the secrets. He's one of the most fucking preachiest Joe Biden guys out there, and the stories about Stuttering John, I cannot wait for the downfall. We're just seeing the mental decline of a guy who neglected his kids, who wasted his money, who's all kinds of stuff going on around about him. It's the first time I've seen someone in a poor state of life, and I've actually been glad to see it. He deserves it. Karma.
On that note, guys, thanks for watching this edition of Dork Side of the Ring. Who knows? We may see you again sometime, but thanks for everybody that follows us and watches us here. This will also be available in audio form anywhere podcasts are found this week. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And who knows? We may